Hey guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. So a lot of you have been reaching out to me to ask my thoughts on the Flesh and Blood collectible card game that right now is really trending, not only on YouTube, but also on sites like eBay, even TCG Player. Right now, a lot of people are paying a premium for some of these early booster box and sets. So I did want to put out just a small video on this. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to make this video 20, 30 minutes. I just want to talk a little bit about this market and give you guys my analysis of what's transpiring. So right now is an interesting time in the collectibles marketplace, even in the marketplace for collectible card games. The two heavyweights have always been in that particular market, Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. Most people know that. Whether you're new to this market, whether you accidentally turned on my video because your remote got stuck, and as a result, you're forced to watch the whole length of this video, most people know that even if you're not a collector, even if you're not involved in any of these markets, if somebody put a gun to your head and said, name one of the most popular collectible card games in existence right now, you could probably rattle off either Magic the Gathering or at least Pokemon if you needed to save your life. So that's not anything surprising. However, where I want to caution a lot of people that are coming into this market is just be very careful how much money you are putting into a card game like Flesh and Blood right now at present time. I'm going to be very honest. There's two things that are transpiring in this market that I really want to alert my viewers to so that maybe you can analyze these markets in a different way. First, we really have a bull market for antiques and collectibles at present time that is ever ongoing, thanks to what's happening with the pandemic, with Wall Street at large. Remember, guys, we're talking about alternate assets here. So anytime we talk about alternate assets, by and large and by their nature, there is usually an inverse relationship with some of these assets and what's happening with stocks, bonds, financial assets at large. So right now, we are seeing a massive influx of money, and in some cases, crazy money. Looking at you, Logan Paul, and you Pokemon people that are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for some of these cards right now. You're not excused from this. There's a lot of money flowing into these markets at present time. So that, by and large, should cause some of you to pause and just take a look at your holdings and what's happening with the market overall, and if you really should be investing in some of these markets for the short term, the midterm, or the long term. I've said this before. Most of you out there, myself included, you probably have too much exposure to collectibles in relation to your overall net worth. Myself, I'm going to be very honest, guys, and I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I am holding 6 figures or more invested in coins and currency because that is my passion. That 6-figure collection is still being added to this very day, to the point where literally I am still spending thousands of dollars per month on collectible coins and currency. Well, when I sit there and I analyze my net worth and how much I have in coins, currency, traditional antiques, collectibles, it's really starting to make up a significant portion of my net worth. So sometime over the next year or two, I have to go through my holdings and I have to start to pull back. And as a result, when I do that, I'm also going to have to reorganize some of my collections and my long-term holdings. Now, those of you that watch this channel, you know I talk about having a written plan, investing in items that you know, and also understanding how these markets work. Well, as a result of me going through, seeing what I have invested in some of these markets, I also have to rewrite my plan because my plan doesn't make sense if I start selling off some of those holdings to slim down some of my exposure to these markets. So where am I going with this, and how does this correlate to you guys out there that may be investing in this card game? Understand, number one, this card game at present time is completely unproven. It is completely speculative. I have often talked about the risk of investing in Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, even for the long term. Well, with an item like this, this is double as risky as investing in those markets because it's completely speculative. This is not a mainstay player in the collectible card game category at present time. It is an up-and-coming new product that people are flocking to, which brings me to point 2. Why are people flocking to this product? Why are they parking money here? Well, could it be because Flesh and Blood, the manufacturers of this particular product, pulled a page right out of Magic the Gathering's playbook? If you look, how are the early sets labeled in this particular card game? They're labeled as the coveted Alpha Edition. So there's a lot of speculators coming into these markets that are buying up these booster boxes, and they're paying $500, $600, $700, all the way up to $1,000 for some of these booster boxes at present time, simply because they hear the term Alpha Edition and they automatically think in their minds, well, gee, if I bought the first Alpha Edition of Magic the Gathering back in 1993, I would be sitting on a small fortune today if I kept them factory sealed. Well, here's what you guys don't understand, and this is why I wanted to do this video now that we're 6 minutes in. Back in 1993, no one, very few people, virtually no one, was hoarding factory sealed alpha booster boxes and starter decks of Magic the Gathering. That's why in the year 2020, these particular items command such a premium on the secondary market. It just worked out where Magic the Gathering, back in 1993, and no one saw it, was going to become the next big thing. And because nobody hoarded this stuff, the stuff that was produced in limited quantities is selling for a significant premium now that that stuff is considered vintage. The problem that you have with Flesh and Blood, everybody that is buying these Arcane Rising, these Welcome to the Wraith booster boxes that are labeled as Alpha Edition, they're all keeping them factory sealed by and large. So as a result, even if this card game catches on in the next 10, 20 years, there's going to be more factory sealed Flesh and Blood product out there on the secondary market, in collectors' collections, in investors' inventories, in warehouses, as a result, because everybody has this idea, what if it becomes the next Magic the Gathering? So that is where I am cautious. There's too many people thinking this is going to be the next big thing, and look what happened to Magic. They're already calling their first set Alpha. So therefore, if I would have bought Alpha Magic the Gathering cards back in 1993, I would be sitting in a fortune today in 2020. So if I buy Flesh and Blood Alpha products in 2020, obviously, in a speculator's mind, that means in the next 15, 20 years, I'm going to be sitting on a fortune if Flesh and Blood becomes the next big thing. Do you see the fallacy of this particular logic? It can't, by and large, benefit collectors in the future if everybody is hoarding this stuff and they're keeping it factory sealed. All you guys are doing right now, by bidding up the price of some of these booster boxes, by bidding up the price of some of these products on the secondary market, all you're doing is making the distributors and the people who have these products at present time extremely rich. You are not investing in anything. This is not an investable product at present time. It is too speculative. Now, can that change? Yes, 100%. If I analyze this market again in 6 months or a year from now, and I see that the market has changed to the point where, okay, Flesh and Blood is really starting to take a bite out of the Magic the Gathering secondary market, where distributors are coming in, they all want to get a hold of this product, players are excited for it, the few game stores that are left are starting to carry this product in mass. I'll gladly do an updated video, and I'll tell you, hey, at this point, go after the first run products. They're probably going to accelerate in value over the next few years. But right now, all you guys that are looking at this thinking it's going to be the next Magic the Gathering, I'm going to be very honest. You are jumping too soon on this proverbial bandwagon, when in reality, you should be taking a wait-and-see attitude. Now, that being said, all things considered, there are some of you that reach out to me and you say, you know what, Sean, every month I buy a case of the latest Magic the Gathering booster box, whether it's Ikoria, Zendikar Rising, whatever it is, I buy a case of that product. So what do you think if I would just take a chance and this month, rather than buying a case of the latest Magic the Gathering booster box, I buy one of these alpha first edition boxes of the Flesh and Blood card game? I would tell you, if you want to take that risk, go for it, but don't go all in head first like you have on Magic or on Pokemon. Because in this case, I'm actually going to state something. At least in this case, compared to Flesh and Blood, Pokemon and Magic the Gathering are more established than this particular card game. They're all speculative. It's all Fugazi, guys. It is all Fugazi. But if you were to compare Flesh and Blood to Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, the money for long-term growth is still on Magic the Gathering and Pokemon. That's all I wanted to get across in this video. I hope my assessment of this market helped you in some way. If it did not, let me know in the comment section below, and maybe we'll revisit this topic again soon. Thanks, guys, and have a great night.